Hey everyone, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this test centre preview video, I'll have a look at Fing. Now, not a great amount has changed on him. I don't believe he actually has any new skills, but he does get some interesting new options through the talents. So let's look at the first section, which is the muscle. Now, the first skill we look at is Downtown Discus. So this is just your regular physical damage skill. It does gain critical and brutal strike damage when clobbering time decay is paused, which a skill later on can do, and it will hit a total of 4 enemies. Now next up we have Hammer Time Stretch. So with this you're calling in Reed Richards, and following that on from that we have Let's Roll Susie, where we call in Invisible Woman, and with that you're doing a damage dot, and you also take 50% less damage when the power's active, also immune to crowd control. We then have Quit It Hothead, where we can call in Human Torch, physical damage dot, and it's a large area it covers as well. And then we have Urban Landscaping. Now this will fit in with Downtown Discus in that this one, it does not earn hard knocks, however it pauses clobbering time decay, which means you can stay in it longer, but you also gain the bonus from this skill as well. Now next up we have Food Cart Fling. So it's just doing physical damage. What this does, which is quite different, it randomly drops orbs, and the more orbs you pick up you gain damage. We then have Yancey Street Gang. Nothing really changing there. You can call in 2 members and you gain, let's see, Union allies gain power, increasing damage rating, and attack speed until a different fantastic friend is called in. This looks like it's possibly using one of the old buffs, 'cause I don't believe we have power anymore. I'm pretty certain it's changed to empower instead, but who knows, it may be a tooltip error. Next up we have Bronx Beatdown, and this particular skill gains bonus power damage while its clobbering time is on. And then finally we have the signature. Guess which time it is? It's clobbering time, of course. So you instantly enter clobbering time. If you use this whilst you already have clobbering time, you regain 60% of your spirit rather than the regular 30%. It's all very simple. Let's now look at the Brawler. The first skill we have in this tree is Sucker Punch. So with this particular skill, it's a basic melee attack, and it also has critical hit rating as well. It will also restore spirit. Next up we have Ground Smash, which is just a regular kind of spammable area of effect skill. And then we have his Dash, which is Rock Slide Charge, just a regular 4-second cooldown and 3 charges. And then we have Unlimited Class Slam. So this is a knockdown, and also it has a vulnerability. And then Brickyard Headbutt, which is our bleed skill, followed up by the 1-2-3. This is a barrage attack, and if you use this while it's not clobbering time, you earn 4 bonus hard knocks. And then we have Yancey Street Goodbye, which is a melee attack, and this one does not earn hard knocks, however it gains damage bonus based on your health, and given how much we can stack that through infinity now, it could be interesting to see how high you could push this particular skill up. And then we finish off with Kraken Wise, which is just a taunt with a weaken as well, and when you get hit you restore spirit, so it can be useful in that regard. But let's look at the talents, where things will get a bit more interesting now. So we'll now start off by looking at the offensive trait first, and that's Tough Guy. So with this you gain 20% base damage versus enemies targeting you. The archetype, not surprisingly, is Tank, so you gain bonus damage from durability and strength. We then have the defensive trait, which is Thick Skinned. You gain maximum health. The archetype is Tough, giving you a multiplier to both defense and deflect. And finally we have the 8% damage reduction there. Now for the resource you have Clobbering Time. So with this, when you attack you're earning hard knocks, and also when you're getting hit you're earning hard knocks as well. When you reach 100 hard knocks it becomes Clobbering Time. While it's Clobbering Time you're immune to crowd control, your critical hit and brutal strike damage goes up by 15%, you regenerate health, and your attack and movement speed goes up, and finally your spirit cost reduction comes down as well. So that's great. So the first line we have here for talents, we have Fantastic Combo. So you and your allies become quickened when you use Hammer Time Stretch. That's the Reed Richards one there. And next up we then have Smash 'em Up. So the O123, which was the barrage skill, this will critically hit. Its third hit will brutally strike and always generate hard knocks. And Brickyard Headbutt, which was our bleed skill, gains the following effects. Damage 200%. If used within 5 seconds of the old 123, it has a 100% critical hit chance and it's a cooldown of 8 seconds. For the last one in this line we have Here Catch. So Downtown Discus gains the following effects. It will hit a total of 7 enemies now, and there's a damage packet on it then as well. Next up, talent line number 2, we have Swift Smasher. So Swift Smasher gains the following effects. It gains 3 max charges, the cooldown is 4 seconds, and when it becomes clobbering time, unlimited class slam and rock slide charge have all charges restored. So let me show off. This can actually make you quite mobile, so quite a few people might like this. There we go, then we've got all our charges back. There we go, that wasn't too bad at all to get from one side of the screen to the other. So that option is there for people that want to stay mobile on them. Now next up we have Heavy Hitter. So Ground Smash gains the following effects. Total damage 100%, power radius 100%. We'll show that off. There you go. Doesn't look too amazing, but when it's not buffed, I'll show it unbuffed actually. In fact, saying that, it looks like possibly, let's try it once more. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's not getting the advantage of the power radius, or at least it's certainly not shown in the visual effects for it, so that's interesting. Now, the next talent in this line we have is Clobbering Time this time, run Clobbering Time. So, Urban Landscaping gains the following effects. Damage bonus 100%, cooldown reduction 4 seconds, and Urban Landscaping, Downtown Discus and Food Cart Fling each add Bronx Beatdown damage, 10% for each of them. For the third talent line we have Invisible Protection. This is quite similar to the Fantastic Combo one. Now with this, Invisible Protection also causes you and your allies to become protected there. And next up we have Body Like a Rock. So while it's clobbering time, damage reduction is 10%. Now on the first iteration for Thing, the damage reduction on this was 75%, and it was almost possible to have clobbering time up all the time, so it was quite insane. But even at that, 10% is still nice if we think of potentially adding in a weaken from another source as well. But next up we have Bring It On. So Kraken Wise gains the following effects. Damage reduction 75%. That's where I think the tooltips maybe get mixed up in the two of them. The cooldowns increase to 6 seconds and projectile reflect chance is 100% there. And we then have Hot Hands, which is just the equivalent of the Invisible Protection Fantastic Combo skill, but this one is now for Johnny Storm. So it's Quit It Hothead gains the following effects. When power ends, melee attacks gain. It's physical damage. Duration 6 seconds as well. Next up, Can't Stop Clobbering. Can't Stop Clobbering gains the following effects. Double the effectiveness of clobbering time for 5 seconds. The cooldown reduction comes down by 5 seconds as well. And then Keep On Punching. Clobbering time decay rate decreased by 50%. While it's clobbering time, gain a stack of Fighting Spirit when you defeat an enemy. That gives you 5% critical hit and brutal strike damage, and this stacks up to 10 times, so for a total of 50% there. And on to the last talent line we have Come Here Pal, which is Fantastic Friend powers deal 200% more damage. Their cooldown reduced by 4 seconds, but now share a cooldown. And then we got I Got This, which is for the players that want to kind of go solo as Thing. So when you're not using, or at least when the Fantastic 4 powers are not on cooldown, you gain 10% deflect chance, 15% dodge, and also 10% damage bonus. And for the Yancey Street Gang not being used, you gain 5% critical hit and brutal strike chance. Now, the last skill we look at is My Old Crew. So with this, Yancey Street Gang gains the following effects. Damage bonus 100%, and it summons up to 4 of them, so we'll show that off. You then can't use any of the Fantastic Four powers. And there we go, there they are there. We'll go over here so they'll start attacking. And that's us. All very simple, there's not a huge amount that's really changed on them, but I don't believe it was too long ago that they had a look at him and updated some of his skills and brought in the summons like the Fantastic Four and so on. So let me know anyway, if you're a Thing player, let me know in the comments section what you think of these particular changes, and I'll see all you guys soon enough for the next video.